Yeah, good evening. Welcome to the Game Day phone-in on talkSPORT. I'm your host, Jeremy Horror. Alongside me, radio legend, Jason Cundy. This show, by the fans, for the fans. Get involved right now. 03 717 223344. Goal crazy in the Premier League today. 21 in 4 games. Burnley, they come back from 3-0 down, only to lose it 4-3 against Brentford, though. But, come on, these decisions going against them. Unbelievable stuff. Never, ever offside, and never, ever a handball. I can't believe it. Elsewhere, West Ham matched Liverpool at Anfield. We got pumped 5-2. Not sure about Liverpool, though. Not great at the back. Newcastle, though, lost at home to Everton. Anthony Gordon got booed when he come off. You can have your sound at 03717 223344. Big win for Coventry in the Championship. As well for Hearts in the Scottish Premiership. EFL action, loads to go at. The 5:30 game has just kicked off as well. Leeds v Man City in front of talkSPORT's Mark Wilson.
Erling Haaland for City. Pep Guardiola makes one change from the win at Newcastle as Cherki comes in. Leeds 6 clear of the drop there. Only one loss in 7 here. They've just had a great chance. Dominic Calvert-Lewin side foots it wide. Leeds 0, Manchester City 0.
Yeah, get involved in the show. We'll get across for all the big moments. I think Mark Wilson's just played down that chance. Calvert-Lewin
my word.
should have scored.
What a chance.
He's 7 yards out. Big chance for Leeds. That's a tough game for Manchester City. But get him involved in the show. Loads to go at. 03 717 223344. Hello, mate.
Hello, matey.
How are you?
I'm all good, mate. I don't know whether I can take any more goals.
It's a goals bonanza.
Mate, it was a goal fest.
Yeah, it was.
Every time you looked up, there was either something happening, a goal being scored, a goal being disallowed, and drama right to the very end. A brilliant, brilliant day of Premier League football. However, VAR and the assistants are getting put under the spotlight, and rightly so, in my opinion.
Yeah, look, let's obviously the big talking point in the Burnley game.
Yeah.
They were 3-0 down at half-time, Burnley. Brentford playing really well. Second half, they were brilliant, Burnley. Come back into it. Mm-hmm. They have a goal to go 4-3, which is, they say it's offside.
It's so tight.
It is so tight. I just don't know how you can give it an offside. I don't know.
The problem, look, I think we all have to accept that there is going to be a line that's drawn eventually. How think you want that line? That where you're offside. And it's the same for everyone. That I'm less concerned about, even though it's tight and it feels so harsh.
Okay.
But the one with the Ashley Barnes one, that I cannot accept that because it's inconclusive. You cannot see categorically if it touches his arm.
No.
Now, when we see it, there's one angle, it looks like it might. Yeah. There's another angle, it looks like it doesn't.
Yeah, I know.
So I don't know how you can then come to the conclusion that it's definitely 100% at his arm. If you can't come up with that conclusion, you cannot disallow the goal.
You have to be 100%.
Can't disallow the goal.
You have to be 100%, right? Obviously,
terrible stuff.
The referee doesn't give it, so it goes to VAR. They look at it for 5 minutes.
Well, on field, the goal's given.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't think you can go against it.
No, I don't think you can.
I don't think you can.
And Stockley Park, they've looked at it, you and I, we're lucky enough to see all the angles, right, in live time. And you're going, I don't think it has. And I don't know whether, and if you cannot say, yes, it definitely has, you have to give the goal. I'm sorry, you've got to give the goal. That is look, I can defend VAR. It's a place in football, and it has to be better. It's never going to be perfect. But today, I can't defend that. Cannot defend it.
Well, let's go straight to Lee. He's a Burnley fan. All right, Lee.
All right, Lee.
Hi, mate. You all right?
All right, mate.
Oh, Lee, how are you feeling? Because you got yourselves right back in it.
Well, absolutely gutted. Obviously, 35 minutes in, we're 3-0 down. And then we come back 3-1, and there's, a slight glimmer of hope, and not just in that game, but for the rest of the season. Obviously we're down at the bottom for relegation, and we're looking like we're going to go down, but that gives us a chance. And then, you two lads have just described everything I was feeling. That first one, he's offside by a shirt sleeve.
Yeah. He's so tight. It's ridiculous. Like from the naked eye, I think most of the time, I think you can tell with a naked eye, really, unless it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
He looks so onside.
To your point, I'll be totally honest. The Ashley Barnes goal, I was standing in the crowd going, it's handball. It's handball. I genuinely thought that Ashley Barnes' goal was handball, and I'll probably get slated by all my mates.
No, that's fair enough, because at one angle it looks like it might touch his arm. That's fair enough.
I genuinely thought the ball struck his arm, and I saw his arm go backwards, and then I didn't even look at the goal. I didn't even, before the ball had hit the net, I'd gone, it's handball. You know, I turned away.
Well, I just, as Cundy says, it's not clear and obvious. It's just not clear and obvious.
There was a guy behind me, and we were having a bit of a disagreement, and he was saying, look, the VAR taking so long, it's not clear and obvious. So it's not clear and obvious. You give it. That's it.
You can't even. I understand. We've all seen goals, not just this season, but seasons gone by, where it's hit the arm and it's quite obvious. Okay, the McAllister one last weekend, it comes off his elbow, right? You can't give those goals. You can't score your arm. Today's example is so different. It looks like it might, but you can't tell for sure.
Yeah.
You cannot tell for sure.
And just have it right. That's the bigger picture is here that we're in a scrap for, it's looking like we're going down. It's not mathematically certain yet, but chances are we're going down. 3 points today is massive. We've got Everton next. We can get something there. It's not an Arsenal. It's not a Man City. It's Everton. It's doable. Yeah, they're on a decent run. Then we've got Fulham. Then 3 games.
Can I just say this though? And I've got to say it, Lee. You can't be 3-0 down, mate, at home after just over half an hour.
No, I totally agree.
That can't happen either.
I'm not. This is probably a different call and a different topic, but I think Scott Parker's out of his depth. I really do. He was fantastic for us last season in the Championship. Absolutely great, and he's coming to the Prem, and I'm sorry to say it's his third, fourth chance at the Prem side, and he's gone straight back down. Or it's looking like he's going to go straight back. Teams like us have,
You say he's out of his depth, though, Lee, and I get your point because of where you are in the league, but. You sold some of your best players. Your keeper left, right? He was fantastic for you last season. How many points he got?
We've replaced him with better. Dubravka is better than Trafford.
Okay, well, right, fair enough then. But
I mean, I think Scott.
Where do you expect to be?
Like when I look at your first team and I look at the players you've got, I just don't think you're good enough.
Yeah, and that you're right, and that's my point. Like, it does sound very, very harsh, all putting it on the manager. It's not. You look at Sunderland; they spent big, and they've done well. Leeds spent big; they're not going down. We got 100 plus points, I think it was, at the end of last season, and Sunderland was 30 points behind us in the league.
Yeah.
And they're tramps in teams. They're flying.
Well, they invested well. They've got some better players.
But we've seen teams. I remember when Fulham come up and spent 100 million, won Premier League assists, going back a few years.
Yeah, you're right.
And they went down. It's the recruitment. The manager coming up needs support in areas that's not his speciality, right? And I feel for Scott because he's always on a bit of a hiding. He's done brilliantly last year. I don't know really where you expect to be. Maybe you can make a case to say maybe half a dozen points more, maybe.
Yeah.
But that's still a lot in the Premier League, half a dozen points.
I expect us to be 17th, Cundy. That's it.
Yeah. Well, that's fair. Lee, listen, thanks for your call. I'm going to go to Cliff, who's a Brentford fan. All right, Cliff?
All right, Cliff.
Hello, good evening. How are you?
Yeah, all right, Cliff. Brilliant first half hour, and then second half fell apart.
It's typical Brentford. We can snatch a defeat from the jaws of victory.
Yeah, it's looking that way. But look, you got away with it. Got 3 points.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of VAR. My heart goes out to Burnley supporters. It's the hope that kills you, is what they say, isn't it?
It's true, matey. It's true.
But there was also an incident in the box in the first half where Michael Coyote was shielding the ball in the box, and a Burnley defender grabbed him round the neck from behind and pulled him away from the ball.
Right.
I thought that was a definite penalty.
Right, okay. I mean, we're watching...
No one's talking about that.
Well, to be honest with you, I'm not fudging the issue. I can't remember it. We get all the replays. I'm not even sure they showed a replay on it. No. I don't remember seeing a replay of that.
No, they didn't even check it.
Well, I mean, I'm guessing...
but you can't grab a player around the
Well, I'll have to see it. I'll have to see that.
It's definite penalty.
Look, but look, Cliff, you're seventh. You're seventh in the table, by the way. I mean, you're in European places right now. It's unbelievable stuff.
Happy. I'm not happy.
What do you mean you're not happy?
I'm not happy at all. I was unhappy before Burnley got a goal back.
What do you mean you're not happy?
Brentford have a thing in their game where they have periods of massive complacency and sloppiness,
Right.
where they're giving the ball away and creating their own problems.
Yeah.
They were so on top in that game, and then they started knocking it around at the back. They beat the press, and then they went backwards again rather than going forwards and created more problems for themselves. They do it quite a lot. So I wasn't happy about that.
Where do you think you should be, though? I mean, when you say you're not happy, but every team has that complaint. Every supporter has that same
Cliff,
about their team.
Cliff, can I make a point? You are the highest you've ever been in the Premier League in your history, ever.
Yeah, no, I want to win it.
Win what?
I'll be brown bread soon.
What are you on about, Cliff? Come on, mate.
When we were knocking around in the lower league.
Yeah, I know. Now you're 7th in the Premier League.
Yeah, well, I know, that's good.
You're 2 points behind Chelsea.
We can be better.
I mean, every team can be better, right? I mean, today's an example of that. You were cruising after 35 minutes, and then the goal just for half-time, it shouldn't be. It changed the half-time team talk for both managers. And then you can see just after half-time, and in the space of about 4.5, 5 minutes, you conceded 2 goals either side of half-time.
Oh, no, they went to pot, and also we didn't have a leader on the pitch.
Right.
We didn't have a leader.
Henderson?
He wasn't on the pitch.
Was he not on the pitch at the time? Right, okay.
No, we didn't have a leader on the pitch, and we needed a leader.
Yeah. Right, Cliff, listen, thanks for your call. Loads to go out. Keep your calls coming in. Let's head back to talkSPORT. Mark Wilson.
Yeah, still Leeds 0 and Manchester City 0. That big chance last time we were with us. Dominic Calvert-Lewin side footing wide, unmarked, 7 yards out, hits the target for me. He should have scored. Aronson put that cross in. Another great ball in as well that went all the way through the Manchester City box. But since then, City getting hold of the ball a little bit more. They did have one chance. Semenyo, he looked offside, broke through. He was clean through on goal, blazed it high and wide. Flag went up to save his blushes after, but pretty even early on here. Leeds 0, Manchester City 0.
Odds update on talkSPORT with Betfair. Play in a different league this season with Safe Sub from Betfair. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Yeah, it's currently Leeds 0, Man City 0. Leeds to win 7-2, and they're playing well in this game. Let me tell you, the draw is 11-4. Man City to win is 11-8 on. That's all thanks to Betfair. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Odds update on talkSPORT with Betfair. Play in a different league this season with Safe Sub from Betfair. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Right, keep your calls coming in. Want to hear from Newcastle fans. Bad result again.
Mate, by the way, sorry, can I just say, booing Anthony Gordon?
Yeah, no.
That's an absolute disgrace. Honestly, I don't know what's happened with his relationship with the fans. We took calls the other night. Some fans saying they'll sell him. That's fine. You can sell players. Cannot be booing your players when they're wearing the badge. Like, honestly, that is absolutely disgusting. For him to come off, he might have given the ball away for one of the goals, actually.
Yeah, he did, for third goal.
Right, for third goal. The players give balls away, it happens.
Yeah, I know.
You cannot boo him when he comes out. You're forcing him
4 goals in the Champions League in the other day.
Yeah, you
come on.
I think that's poor, mate.
I agree with you.
Really poor.
Well, we're going to hear from Newcastle fans next. 03 717 22 33
Betty just bought in a packet of disco salt and vinegar, which I smashed down in that ad break. We've talked about Chris before. We won't go there necessarily. Unbelievable packet of Chris.
I think they could be their top 3 for definite. They could be Mount Rushmore, then.
Oh yeah, 100% Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
The problem with that, and like all things now, I was going to say Chris, but all like Twix, Snickers, crisps. Everything's smaller now.
No, but usually I grab these but usually there's a bigger bag than this.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
What does it say? What's that? Right? It's 55. Oh, 55p for that.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
I don't think that was that bad. But it says underneath RRP.
Yeah.
What's that?
Retail price.
Okay, 55p.
Yeah. What do you think it was like? They're going to die. Rest in peace.
Nah. There's a couple of items in the shop I bought it from.
Yeah.
I'm obviously not going to name what the shop is.
Yeah.
It says what it says on the can, not for single sale.
Yeah.
Oh, why are you sending single cokes in?
Were they doing that?
Yeah, I never tell you it is.
You can't do that.
I'd never ever say where it's from, but that I don't mind
an
that.
actual shop?
Yes.
Around here?
Not for. Oh, I'm telling you, not for individuals.
So you can tell me where is it? Is it downstairs or across the road?
No, it's not around here.
So it is.
It's the shop I go to. How can you sell them?
Oh.
Not for individual sale.
You know what that means, right?
What?
You know why it says it on that?
Yeah, because it's in a pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's opened a pack.
Cool, I knew that.
Right,
I ain't got a problem with that.
No, I ain't got a problem with that at all. Yeah.
We all got to earn a living, right?
We've all got.
You're listening to the Game Day phone on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie Hart, and Jason Cundy. 03 717 223344. Let's go straight to some Newcastle fans. Anthony Gordon got booed off. Let's go to Andy. All right, Andy?
Andy.
All right, lads.
All right, matey.
Andy, how you feeling? I mean, terrible result for you, really, and Anthony Gordon got booed.
Yeah, well, if you remember, I spoke to you last week on the way home from the game, and you told me that Anthony Gordon would get into any team in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And I disagreed with you, and I told you he's not as good as you all think he is. And he was terrible again today.
He's not the only one, though. Why all of a sudden is he being targeted?
Because of his lack of effort.
I don't see that side of his game. I mean, I watched the game today. You can't say he didn't try.
Did you see when the ball came at the box and he could have headed it in, but he'll not put himself in any position where he's going to get hurt. He doesn't put his body on the line when you're fighting for points and you're fighting for positions. The kid just hasn't got it.
Did you boo him?
No, I didn't boo him.
Okay. Did people around you boo him? Did anyone around you boo him?
Yeah.
They were?
Yeah, there was loud boos all the way around us. But I tell you what it is, at full-time whistle, there was a lot of boos, and it's been a long time since there's been a lot of boos at full-time. But what do you think about him playing Joe Linton on the wing?
Yeah, that was poor, starting him on the left.
Voldemort in centre midfield and Anthony
Yeah.
Gordon up front.
Well, then, look, you're booing Anthony Gordon, and maybe you should be booing Eddie Howe.
Well, I'm an Eddie Howe guy anyway, so...
Yeah, well, that's the problem. You're all like Eddie Howe lovers, and I get it, because he's done a good job there, but come on, the way he's setting your team up, you're a shambles.
We're a joke at the minute. We're boring, and we're not fun to watch. We're a mid-table team at the minute, and it's not exciting. There's no flair there. Something's not right, and I think it's the manager.
Yeah, but you're scapegoating Anthony Gordon, who scored 4 goals in one game the other day in the Champions League.
Against Carrier-Bag, aye.
All right, yeah, and then Eddie Howe sets you up with Joe Linton playing on the left. I mean, come on. There has to be some, reality here of actually what's going on. Newcastle are a good side with good players. It ain't just Anthony Gordon. There's something else going on here.
There is, you're right. What is it?
Well, maybe it's the manager.
Well, I agree. I think it's the manager.
Yeah, but it doesn't help, right? You fans booing. That's not going to change things anytime soon. If you, I know you said you've not booed, but that's not going to help the situation. There's still a lot that you can still fight for. Obviously, the Champions League is the one that stands out right now, right? But you can't. The league position, you still might be. Whatever happens to the Champions League, you can still, if your second half or your last third of the season, you can pick up points. You can't be booing your own players, mate. That's poor.
Well,
that's poor.
I disagree with booing, and we weren't booing, but there was quite a lot of booing.
Yeah, that's not going to help us.
All right, Andy, listen, mate, thanks for your call. I'm going to go to Mike. He's a Newcastle fan. All right, Mike?
Mikey?
Hi, boys. Can you hear
Mikey?
us?
Yeah, all right, Mikey. Look, disappointing result that today, really.
We're just the same old. It's a waste of time every week. We've won a few games this season, but we're being crap every week. We're so bad to watch. We can't break anyone down. It feels like I've been maybe going to games for about 15 years. We've needed a right winger the entire time I've been going. Our right wingers have been crap. Gordon was crap all game. I don't agree with him getting booed off. We were arguing amongst ourselves in the stands. But we're just terrible, man.
You've lost 12 games this season. That's a lot.
You've just said there, Jamie, as well. Newcastle are a good team with good players, but I think you can count on one hand how many good players we've got that are top half Premier League players.
Oh, come on, mate. Tenali, Guimaraes, Anthony Gordon, Voltamada.
So poor.
Mate, come on, you've got a really good team. You've got a strong physical side. I really rate Newcastle. Like when your best 11 is fit, I think you're a really good team. But I don't know what's happened, and I don't know what's going on. But the Premier League results are unacceptable, really.
You're right in what you're saying. We've got a lot of strong players. They can probably bench a lot in the gym, but they're all soft as that. No one will put a foot in for a challenge. Gordon's soft. Murphy's soft. The reminders. And when you go to watch the kids play football and you can see that one that doesn't really play, he jumps up and closes his eyes when he goes for a header and no chance of getting on the end of it.
Can we, just on this, can we give Everton some credit? Because I know it's Newcastle. We've not had an Everton fan. I'd love to hear. By the way, Everton, I thought they were excellent.
They were, really.
They were so good. And that first half, that goal was coming. And I thought when you got back level, I thought you were a little bit fortunate, actually. Because I said to Jay, this Everton team deserved to be in front. And he was saying Newcastle get back in it, and he was right. But that wasn't the game I saw. The game I saw was Everton were much the better side.
They were by far the better team, but both our goals were lucky. I think they were both deflections. I obviously haven't seen any replays, but we can't break. That's all the team needs to do. Everton have always been well organised. The defence is really good. But all you've got to do is stand in a line on the edge of your box, and we won't score any goals.
Yeah, David Moyes deserves a huge amount.
I know David Moyes is.
The way he sets the team up.
He's top quality.
He
doesn't get. I don't think he gets the credit he deserves.
Well, he should do, because he is. You don't do what he's done in the game. I think it might be close to 1,000. It might be 1,000 games he's made. You don't do those numbers. You're doing something right. I thought Dye was excellent today. Dewsbury Hall's having a fine season as well. McNeil, you made the point, Jay, in the green room. We watch it. His touch for the goal. All right, Nick Pope makes a right Horlicks of it.
Yeah.
But his touch is just sublime.
Yeah.
Gets his shot away, and then you got Beto. You got Beto.
Well, Beto, I mean,
he's on his.
You never know what you're going to get from him, but
you don't. But he fair play gambled.
Yeah.
Following things
it's
up.
A bit like you playing up front.
What do you mean? I gamble.
Just erratic. You don't know what you're going to get. Could be brilliant. Could be garbage.
It's a bit like the show.
Let's go to Alf, who's an Everton fan. All right, Alf.
All right, Alf.
All right, mate. Up the toffees.
Up the toffees.
Massive result, that, matey. Massive result.
Played well. Beto ran his socks off. Got his goal. Barry, come on, centre forward, got his goal.
Yeah.
Played well. James Garner was everywhere.
He was. James Garner played well, actually. You're right. It's a good point to mention him. Yeah, he was good.
And I tell you what, if he was in another team, City, United, Liverpool, he'd be in the World Cup squad.
I mean, maybe not that, but I mean, let's give him some credit today. He absolutely, when he picked up a booking as well, and there was one breakaway where it looks like he might drag down. I can't remember who it was that was going for.
Yeah, he couldn't do it.
He couldn't do it. So then that takes a bit away from his game. But honestly, all over the pitch, Everton thoroughly deserved to win today. Thoroughly.
Yeah, and what a save by Pickford at the end.
Yeah, it's a great save. It is a great save. I know the lads before were saying save of the season. I wouldn't.
It's top draw.
It's a top draw. I wouldn't say save of the season. I kind of agreed with Matt Murray on the Donnarumma one, but listen, that's why Pickford's England's number one, because he can produce big saves like that when you need him. So fair play to him. Yeah. Look, how far can this team go now? Because you've been in the trenches over the last 2 or 3 seasons, but with David Moyes now, 8th in the table, 40 points.
Sort your home form out, by the way.
Yeah, it's like your
home form's a good
side.
Yeah. Well, we've got to win Tuesday night now. Got to win Tuesday night against Burnley, and it won't be an easy game because they've got nothing to lose, have they?
No, they played all right. They played all right second half today, but you should win. You have to win them games.
Who's that?
Yeah. So we're just on our way home now. That was the lads in the back of the car.
Yeah. Alf, well played, mate. Great result for Everton today. Want to hear more from them. Newcastle fans want to hear from you as well. Anthony Gordon getting booed. Eddie Howe, should he be getting booed? Because, the results at the minute in the Premier League are nowhere near good enough. I feel like Anthony Gordon is becoming a bit of a scapegoat.
I totally agree with you. I think you're right. And I think, if I don't know where this has come from, boy, Anthony Gordon seems to be where the Newcastle fans are venting most of their frustrations. Not quite sure where it's come from.
Yeah, keep your calls coming in. 03 717 22 33 44.
I really don't understand why a manager has to have previous experience in the environment that he's going into. You all appeal for the best in class. How did that work at Manchester United with Van Gaal, Mourinho and Rangnick, says Paul. Morning, guys.
Well, 2 of them won trophies.
Southgate could only handle the British players. Foreign players wouldn't have the same respect for him. They wouldn't be enticed to play for Manchester United. He wouldn't have the pulling power. He'll be a failure to be at Manchester United. Abby is a Manchester United fan in Glasgow. Matthew says, a great show again. For me, Southgate is the next Crystal Palace manager, potentially European football again next year, has potential to do similar to what Emery has done at Villa and take them into the top 4 contention. Supportive chairman and his former club, says Matt in Glasgow.
That's the level. That is the level. And that's not disrespectful. I think it'd be a good fit.
He's had a good old freak out.
Count to 10 addicts.
Yeah. He's not a happy boy there. Because you asked him.
No, I'm not happy boy because you didn't want to have the same debate we've had over and over again, and then you had the same debate we've had over and over again. I tried to.
You two did. I told you not to do that, but you did it anyway.
But as well, on a serious note, though, how much does Gareth Southgate want to manage?
Well, that's one of the key questions, actually.
Then,
because I've always had the impression that he doesn't want to go back into it unless it's a job that he cannot turn down.
Yes.
Because the pressure was so high on him. And I remember speaking to him after he'd resigned from England and he was over in on a holiday, chilling out, and he was like, I've got absolutely no desire to come back. No desire. I just need the time off.
I can imagine it's a lot of pressure.
All that pressure. It's all the pressure, all the attention. You can't go anywhere. You can't do anything. Your whole life is completely ensconced in analysing players and thousands of them over the course of the year.
Hamilton, now at Ferrari, dares to dream of a record 8th F1 world title.
You are listening to the Game Day Phone on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie Hart, and Jason Cundy. Goalfest in the Premier League today. 12:30 finished 1-1 between Bournemouth and Sunderland. That was live and exclusive on talkSPORT. Then the goals rained in. Liverpool 5, West Ham 2, Newcastle 2, Everton 3, Burnley 3, Brentford 4. The 5:30 game. It is 0-0. It is up and down. Let's head over to Mark Wilson now and get some updates.
Yeah, still Leeds United 0, Manchester City 0, but Leeds dominating. Dominic Calvert-Lewin with that early chance. He had another one as well. Ball over the top, ran in on goal, was just forced wide. He managed to get a shot across the face of Donnarumma, but it rolled across goal and wide at the far post. But Leeds dominating. City yet to have a shot on goal. Leeds 0, Manchester City 0.
Yeah, 03717 223344 to have your say. We'll talk a bit of EFL as well because Milwall are flying high in the Championship. They're up to third. They're a point behind Middlesbrough in second. Unbelievable stuff. Loads of results to go through. Wrexham, they win again. Southampton flying. They won 3-1 today away from home. Loads to go. Get involved in the show. 03717 223344. Right, let's go to Malcolm. He's a Newcastle fan. All right, Malcolm.
Malky.
All right, Jason. How are you doing?
All right, Mark. Go on. Let's talk about you lot today then. Where do you want to go? Anthony Gordon getting booed or
you booing?
Yes. Anthony Gordon did not get booed off the Newcastle fans. It was the Everton fans booing him all the way through the game. I was in the Leeds' end, and the Everton fans were up in the cords behind us. Every time Gordon touched the ball, he got booed.
Yeah, I don't doubt that, but not when he came off. That's what we're talking about. Not during the game. We're talking about when he came off.
No, he didn't. Not where we were.
Well, we just had a fan phone up and say where they were sat round and people were booing him. He just heard their fans were arguing amongst themselves.
No, it depends where he was in the. If he heard that,
we weren't in the Everton. We weren't in the Everton bit.
Nah.
What do you mean nah? We heard it. We're watching the game. He got booed.
Stevie Army even said the Newcastle fans were booed. You can't keep saying nah.
You can't just come on and go, nah. It's there. It's factually correct. You just had a fan on. Harmy said it. They were arguing about it between fans about booing him. Why are you booing him? I don't get it. I know. Listen, he weren't great today, but nor was anyone.
No, he was a fault of the. He was a. You know.
You can't use it. You can't say that. Let's dump that.
Malcolm,
you can't. Come on, mate.
Come on, you can't.
You're not with your mates now, mate. Come on.
All right, you can't say that. You get banned.
Yeah, stick with nah. Don't use S-bombs.
Listen, do you think he's coming a bit of a scapegoat, Anthony Gordon, for Newcastle this season?
No, I don't.
Nah, just say nah.
No, I'm not going to say that. I think Eddie Howe is the money we've spent on Walter Marder, Wissa, Alanga, and the rest of them. I think it's a waste, panic buying.
Well, you had to buy someone.
Yeah. Well,
yes, listen, Malcolm, I didn't think Alanga was a bad signing. Like he was superb for Nottingham Forest last season. When you signed him, I thought it's a good signing.
Yeah, he was good for Forest.
You know, Visser, again, you can say, you know, he was really good last season. So I don't think they're bad signings. They haven't performed. I give you that. No, but I don't think they're bad. I don't think anyone was sat here going, that's a really bad signing.
Guimaraes is a big miss because whenever you play without him, you do seem to really struggle.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that can't be
Walter Marder can't head the ball. He's good with his feet, but he's no good in the air.
Yeah, Joel Linton on the left. He moved in the end, but that was a bit.
Well, I think Tonali's goal was good. That was a cracker, but I was disappointed. We drove a 600-mile round trip for us.
Right. Where do you live?
Basingstoke.
300 miles away.
Malcolm, listen, thanks for your call. I'm
Cheers,
going to get
Malky.
some reaction to that game. Eddie Howe speaking to our man Stephen Harmison following the 3-2 home defeat to Everton.
We were slow starters today. We weren't happy with what we delivered in that opening 20-25 minutes, so we made some tweaks to personnel and to system during the game, as you say, to try and find a better outcome. I thought we were better for probably 20 minutes of that second half. The early stages of the second half, I thought suddenly that we had a better look about us. We missed JJ, I thought, when he went off. Jacob Ramsey, I thought he had a really positive 45 minutes. Unfortunately, he had a sickness, illness bug that he couldn't shake off. So we're not having it easy at the moment. We're always faced with different challenges, but we know the end of the game wasn't good enough too.
It was a frustration of just possibly trying a bit too hard in that second half, getting in behind, and the final ball wasn't there.
I think there's definitely an element of trying too hard. It's a difficult thing for me to say because I'm not sure people necessarily understand that so readily, but I think there was a bit of desperation in our performance in that second half, especially we're giving away too many free kicks and allowing Everton to break the pressure that we were putting them under. The lads here care so much. They want to do well for the team. But yeah, we've got to, as I said earlier, we've got to try and get the players back to their better individual performances because there was a few dips today.
And just finally, can I ask a question about Anthony Gordon? You know, you played in 3 different positions across the game. Great, form in the sort of Champions League. The Premier League hasn't been quite there, and there was a few jeers towards the end when he came off.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of the jeers. I think, we used him in a few different positions today. We were trying to find, as I said, a formula to make the team play better today. Thought he had his moments, as he usually does, with the quality that he possesses. But yeah, that would be a frustration for us.
Yeah, it's a tough one for him right now, isn't it, Anthony Gordon? Because, again, you're playing him out of position and he's doing all right.
Yeah,
Champions League has been good, but
he is versatile. There's no doubt about that. His versatility will be really keen to see exactly how he is eventually used, if he is used in the World Cup. Just want to raise a point here about Newcastle, because when they got themselves back level, they conceded straight away. And on both occasions, Murphy. So they score on 32, Beto scores on 31. They score on 82. Barry scores on 83.
Mm-hmm.
So twice they've got themselves back in the game and let the lead slip within seconds.
Yeah,
that was their biggest problem today. Not being able to stay in the game. Once they got back in the game, couldn't stay in the game.
Yeah, let's go to Joe. He's an Everton fan. All right, Joe.
All right, Joe. Up the toffees.
How you, mate? You like Jason?
Up the toffees.
How are you, Joe? You good?
Lad, it was a great game today. Been unbelievable win.
Yeah. Were you booing Gordon?
Yeah, of course we are, mate. Of course we do, Gordon. Hey, can I get over the point here, though? Jordan Pickford, by the way, is the best keeper, one of the best keepers in the league. He is absolutely unbelievable.
He pulled off a brilliant save today, a crucial stage as well.
Every single week for Everton Football Club. He is unbelievable, mate.
Yeah, no,
I can't disagree with that. Yeah, I think he's brilliant, but he's been that for a while.
Yes.
Can I just get a point across as well, Jason? I hear this all the time as well. You've got to say Everton a bigger club than Tottenham, haven't you? Come on, you've got to say Everton a bigger club.
Up the toffees.
Come on, lads, you've got to say Everton a bigger, aren't you?
Listen, Everton. Joe, Everton won't be playing Lincoln next season, mate. All right? You'll be all right.
You're going to be all right. You got 40 points. Well done. It's first time in a while.
We're going to be getting to Europe, mate. We're that good at the moment. Away from home.
Yeah, your home form. Joe boy.
Home form's not great, like, is it?
Yeah, your home form's rotten.
It is. But the away form is the best I've ever seen in my lifetime. I've been going for years as well, mate, and I can't believe how good it is at the moment.
Yeah, flying high. Doing well.
Great day out.
Where do you think you'll finish, lads?
Well, look, you've got. If your home form
I think you'll finish where you are.
If your home form improves, you can get Europe. I genuinely feel that if you're home, but you can't keep dropping points and putting in turgid performances at home. That's got to change.
We've got Burnley on Tuesday.
We'll see then. We'll see, right?
There
we go. Yeah. Great chance to turn that around.
Yeah. Joe, listen, thanks for your call, mate. Let's go to Andy. He's a Burnley fan. All right, Andy.
Hello.
All right, Andy.
All right, Andy boy.
Yeah. I went to the game today. How are we doing, boys? All right?
Yeah, we're good, mate. We're good. You must be gutted, really.
I'm very gutted. I'm absolutely fuming because I'm talking about VAR. We've just had an absolutely fantastic game.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we didn't play brilliant in the first half. We've had an absolutely fantastic game of football, and we're now talking about VAR.
Mm-hmm.
It's just ruining the game. It's ruining the experience for the fans. I'm dancing round, I'm singing, I'm lifting my little boy up in the air. The guy next to me, he's lifting my little boy up in the air. We don't care. We're celebrating. We thought we were winning 4-3.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, 5 minutes later, it's dashed. It's gone.
Yeah, I genuinely, mate, I don't know if you've been able to see it because you was at the game, but I just don't know how they can give that as handball. Because the angles are just... There's so many different angles to look at, and there's two main ones. One looks like it touches his arm, but the other one doesn't. So I just don't think you can give it. It's not 100%. And I think in that moment, I just don't know if you can give that decision.
Exactly. The thing that annoys me the most is we're going now towards where football is going to be a video game. We've got Anthony on the wing, and the call in his shoulder. I mean, you guys have played football. You know exactly how it is. You've got to try and set off. How do you stand straight up in the air? Yeah, if he's a foot offside, I understand. I get that. I totally understand. But he's half of his shoulder. It's probably not even his shoulder. It's probably just his
It's literally just the shirt sleeve.
Fine margins that annoy football fans. I've worked all week to come and enjoy the football with my little boy, and the thing is, we get to the point where we're talking about VAR.
So I don't know what the answer is, because VAR is here to stay, right? The genie's out the bottle,
I totally
right?
agree.
And I think what you probably have to do is somehow find a way, and, we hear about this daylight now, some Wenger wants to bring daylight, and I think you probably have to look at the offside law. Because, it is one of those black and white situations. Is he offside, yes or no? And when you start measuring it by millimetres, you can find a millimetre where he's offside, or however, whatever. And that's the problem we find ourselves in now, that there is no wiggle room at all. But it's the same for everyone.
The problem you've got is... Sorry.
No, go on, mate. You phoned us. Go on.
No. So the problem is as well, so you've got them banned. So not only that, the first one that takes us into the lead, massive goal that could potentially give us 3 points, keeps the season alive. We then get another one at the end of the game. Yeah. Gives us a bit of hope for Everton away next few days. Barnes scores. He's a hero in our team. And again, I haven't seen it because I've been there, but apparently it brushed his arm. Now,
well, you can't tell.
You can't tell, mate.
That's the problem. You cannot tell.
You can't tell.
My massive point is, if we've got to stand there 5 minutes waiting for the decision, it's not clear and obvious.
I agree.
And the thing is, it's not going anywhere. Like I said, there's too much money involved. It's not going anywhere. But the problem is, I'm actually getting to the point where I actually want to go down because I want to watch a game of football without...
Oh, Andy, don't talk rubbish. Andy!
I am saying, as a competitor, I want to stay up.
Yeah.
But from watching a game of football, I am bored with VAR.
But Andy, you know what happened, right? Andy, you know what happened? Next season, you'll be phoning me and Jay, and there'll be a goal that's not given to you lot, and it's like a mile onside, and you're saying, it's a mile onside. And I'll say, no, Andy, don't be moaning at us. You had your chance of it.
But the point is, you're saying a mile offside. Yeah, I get that. Give that. But
no, I'm saying you'll phone up moaning.
Honestly, if this were the other way around, and it were Brentford, I would say give the goal. Because we want, as fans, we want to see the goals.
We've seen 21 goals today. I mean, it's not like we're being starved.
No.
Yeah,
There's been 4 games. There's been 4 games. Got 21 goals. So we can sit here and moan, and I get it, and I know you're frustrated, but it's one of them. 21.
And the thing is, we weren't good enough in the first half. We deserved to lose after the first half. But the thing is, when you get to a point where the lads, pulled it back, and you just think, you know what, that 4th goal.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you, Andy. Scott Parker. We had one fan phone up, say he's out of his depth. What do you think?
I watch him home and away. I'm an optimistic person. I like Scott Parker. I think he's a decent guy. I just think his record in the Premier League proves at the moment that he can't do it. He's done it twice with Bournemouth and Fulham. He's now struggling with us. We're not looking like we're going to do anything this season. We're going down with a whimper, and I just think maybe a change would do good.
What, now? Change now?
Season, I don't know.
I don't know, mate. Look, it looks to me. It looks to me. It looks to me, Andy, you're going down. It does, right? And
yeah, I agree.
And that's one. Maybe you could argue Scott Parker, or two.
Yeah.
You're just not quite good enough, and it's and it is what it is. I just think with what he done for you last season, I think he deserves another shot to get you straight back up. I think he does. I think it'd be silly because you're taking a big risk.
Yeah.
There's a goal! Mark Wilson!
It's Leeds 0, Manchester City 1. Antoine Semenyo has fired in from close range. It's a beautiful pass down the left from Cherki. He's picked out the run of Ryan Aït-Nouri. He's got to the byline, pulled it across the 6-yard box, and there is Semenyo to tuck it in. City had their best spell of the game leading up to the goal, but that, a fine pass, great cross, simple finish. Leeds 0, Manchester City 1.
Yeah, thanks,
it's the pass from Aït-Nouri.
Is it Aït-Nouri?
This is it. Aït-Nouri? No, it's not. Actually,
it's not Aït-Nouri.
Is it Cherki?
It's Cherki.
Cherki. What a ball! He plays it into Aït-Nouri.
Some goal that.
Do you know what, mate? You know those passes, right? You don't break your stride. You run onto it.
You ever made a pass like that?
Only to them.
Don't know if I've ever seen Jason Cundy play a weighted pass like that.
Back pass.
No, but it's a great goal. But they played well, Leeds, and Man City.
The last 15 minutes, Man City have been absolutely knocking on the door. O'Reilly had a header. This City performance has penned Leeds back. They're not out of it, Leeds, of course they're not. But City have been the last. Yeah, they've. It felt like someone was coming.
Yeah, we're just coming up to half-time. It has just gone there. Mark Wilson.
Yeah, Leeds 0, Manchester City 1. Semenyo took it in from close range. Leeds dominant in the first 20 minutes. Had two really big chances as well in that first half. The first, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, inside 4 minutes. Aronson's cross. Calvert-Lewin unmarked, puts it wide of the post. They only had to hit the target. You feel to put them in front. And then a mad minute. Leeds dominant earlier on, had a few efforts. Didn't really test out Donnarumma too much. But then a mad minute, 40 minutes in, when Omar Mamouche had a shot well saved. That came just after Stack had intercepted a pass midway inside his own half. He broke up to halfway. He fed in Aronson, clean through on goal. Aronson seemed to hesitate, and in the end Donnarumma made a comfortable save. Jason mentioned that header from O'Reilly forced a nice save from Darlow, but the deadlock broken just before the break. Best move of the match, Cherki's pass, found Aït-Nouri, he pulled it back, Semenyo tucked in. It's a bear pit of an atmosphere here at Leeds, who've given it everything, but it's City who lead, and if they win here they go within 2 of Arsenal. Leeds 0, Manchester City 1.
All right, keep your calls coming in on the Game Day phone in 03 717 22 3344.
England striker Ivan Toney joined Drive Today show and was asked whether he wants to see Arsenal win the title.
Arsenal fans hate me as it is, so I can't say too much. But now, I do want them to win. I think it's boring City winning all the time. It would be nice for us, another team to win. Also, a couple friends at Arsenal also. So I think, it'll be special for them. Obviously being so close for so long, and hopefully they can finally get over the line. But I think they know City have been there, done it. So City have that little advantage, but I feel like Arsenal maybe can do it this time.
Yuck. That's what I'm going to say. Do not want Arsenal winning the title. I'm a Chelsea fan, right? It's the way it should be, right? It's the way it should be, Dina. Don't look at me like that. I don't want Arsenal winning the title, mate. All right? I've said all season they will, and I fear I'm going to be proven right. All right? I don't want to win the title.
Right. I thought the massive London derby was Spurs-Tottenham.
Spurs-Arsenal.
Yeah,
right? They're North London derby, yeah.
So who's Chelsea's biggest rivals? Spurs?
In London, Spurs. I mean, they say Fulham and QPR and Brentford. They're not. No.
So why do you hate Arsenal then?
No, I don't hate Arsenal. I just don't want Arsenal to win the title.
Why?
Because they're London. I don't want anyone in London doing well. That someone's got to win the Premier League title. Give it to Man City. So all I've got to say, give it to City.
Well,
no, not give it to City.
What's your reasons for that? Just because
because Arsenal fans are unbearable. They're unbearable. They haven't won the title in 22 years. They're still unbearable, all of them. Honestly, the entitlement from them. Their Premier League record the last 22 years, they've not been involved in it, right? Okay, they've had a couple of skirmishes with City. Their European status is absolutely disgustingly bad.
You are listening to the Game Day Phone-In on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie Hart, and Jason Cundy. Keep your calls coming in. You want to have your say on your team's performance in the Premier League. EFL 03 717 223344. Well, let's take a quick look at the latest odds in a 5:30 game. All thanks to Betfair.
Odds update on talkSPORT with Betfair. Play in a different league this season with Safe Sum from Betfair. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Yes, currently Leeds 0, Man City 1. Semenyo with a great goal. Leeds to win now 14-1. The draw 4-1. Man City to win is 4-1 on. That's all thanks to Betfair. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Odds update on talkSPORT with Betfair. Play in a different league this season with Safe Sum from Betfair. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Right, let's hear from Burnley manager Scott Parker speaking to talkSPORT's John Dunn following today's unlucky 4-3 home loss to Brentford.
What was the half-time message, Scott? Was that you to the players, or was that the players to each other as well?
No, it was mainly me. There were some harsh words at half-time. Like I said, I thought we played soft. I thought we looked weak in duel, and it's certainly an element of how Brentford play. You need to be positive in duels, and you need to be an aggressive side and set plays, and we played really soft. So there were some harsh words. As quickly as there was harsh words, there was tactical elements which we changed. And then there was a balance when I'm looking at a group of men straight back at me in their eyes. I could see probably where they are a little bit, and the disappointment and the sadness of where they were. We needed to try and reboot and just go back on what we needed to be. People can have choices. The supporters coming here today have choices how you want to react to certain situations. There's one thing that we never have, which I always say to this crew, there is no choice, there's one choice. And that choice is that no matter what, that we always, this is what we be, this is what we need to be. And they were probably the main messages as well.
You're obviously proud of the players, as you say, but the fans left and it felt they were really proud of what they saw in the second half, which is only encouraging for the running.
It is, yeah. We did that. And that's why I'm immensely proud of the group. And, you know, I think the supporters leave here today, while, of course, probably disappointed and at times, you know, critical. I think they leave here seeing a group that have got something in them, really. And their reaction is something that hopefully the fans look at and think, okay, well, maybe this is what we need to be, really.
Yeah, a disappointed Scott Parker there. Let's go to Chris. He's a Burnley fan. All right, Chris.
Right, Chris.
Hello, you all right?
All right, Chrissy.
Congratulations.
Look, unlucky today, really, in the end, but look, it was a shocking first half performance.
Yeah, that's where we lost the game.
Yeah.
We lost the game in the first half. The second half, VAR took it away from us. No doubt about that at all. To take so long on checking and then come up with a shoulder, that's not clear and obvious. And then the handball. I mean, look, if we go down fighting the way we've just come out in the second half, no qualms. But he's got to do that every game. Come out and fight like they did in the second half. And if he's got to stay with us, then we have to stand by him and we have to.
Do you want him to stay with you?
Season. I'm right on fence. Is he good enough? I don't think he is. But is it his fault, or is it
the way we've bought the players and who's advised him on what players to bring in. Maybe he has to look at his team around him and change that. That's probably where he's got to look at himself. Who's advising him what players to bring in?
I think we have to accept that you're going to get relegated, right? And I don't see the point in changing anything now. That decision, if it was going to be made, perhaps should have happened 6 weeks ago, maybe a little bit longer, right? And I think Scott knows how to get a team out of the Championship. And if you replace Scott with someone, a little bit like what Wolves have done with Rob Edwards, they got a manager that knows how to get a team out of the Championship. You're going to be looking for another Scott Parker. I wouldn't change it now. I genuinely wouldn't. I think that ship has sailed.
We stood by Sean Dyche all the way. We did it with Vincent Kompany. Okay, he went off and did what he did. But we stood by Sean Dyche and he took us back up. So if that's the same rule of thumb and Scott Parker can do it, great, let's do it. Let's stand by him. Yeah. But some of the football we're watching, it's like we're going out not to lose. And we're not making an effort on them. There's no out-and-out striker coming out. It's the gameplay sometimes that is the fan reaction. That's what's causing the reaction from us. We want to see a little bit more fight. Let's have a little bit more about them on the pitch. I'm not saying, that they're all performing like that, because there's a lot of individual play. You've got young Bashir Humphries. What a player! He is going to be something else. But we have to keep hold of them. We'll let CJ Egan-Riley go, and Trafford. What would it have been any different if we'd have kept him? Maybe not. So but we have to keep the team together. Come back up if we're going to do it, because the team is probably too good for Championship, just not good enough at Premier as we are.
Yeah. All right, Chris, look, I'm going to let you go. Thanks for your call. Look, we haven't even spoke about Liverpool.
No, we haven't.
They won 5-2 today against West Ham. West Ham were abysmal at the back, but West Ham actually done all right.
Well, going forward, I thought West Ham actually looked quite good. Liverpool defensively looked very, very porous. Very porous. But so did West Ham, mate. And Liverpool were more ruthless.
They were ruthless.
Yeah, the scoreline flattered Liverpool. That was not a 5-2 game. There was no way Liverpool were 3 goals better. They took the chances. West Ham, that's been the story of their season, really, in all honesty. They're just a team that you will get chances. And Liverpool got good players.
Yeah.
When they get in that final third, you give them half a chance, they'll take it. And
Somerville's a good player.
Somerville, actually, he was the bright spark for West Ham.
Yeah, I thought Jared Bowen was...
Bit off it.
Yeah, didn't think he was great today, to be honest.
He scored 2 goals at Anfield. The scoreline for me does not tell you or show you the game that you and I watched. But Liverpool deserved to win. I'm not saying taking everything away from them, but West Ham cannot afford to give goals away the way they did, mate. Or the chances. Oh, dearie me, they're they actually had a bit of a resurgence. But I don't think West Ham's season is going to hinge on today's result and performance.
No.
There are going to be other games that are coming up where they've got, if they play like that, they will get chances.
Do you think they can stay up?
I think they can.
Do you think they will?
Yeah, I do. I've got a funny feeling.
Who's going down?
Forest.
Okay. Yeah. Not Spurs?
Burnley stay up as well.
I want to hear from West Ham fans. How are you feeling about today? Liverpool fans as well. You won 5-2. It wasn't a brilliant performance, but going forward, as Cundy said, you took your chances. 03 717 22 3344.
That's a fantastic draw for Arsenal, really, to be in that part of the draw as well, because not only have they got Leverkusen, they then play the winners of Sporting and Boda Glimt. So they've got a great run. In fact, it could be that you could get a North London derby in the semi-finals of the competition if everything goes to plan. But their potential opponents in the quarterfinals, should they beat Leverkusen, Arsenal, would end up being Boda Glimt or Sporting. And then they would face the winners of the quarterfinal, which is between Newcastle, Barcelona or Atletico Madrid against Tottenham. So the draw in full then, Paris Saint-Germain against Chelsea, Galatasaray against Liverpool. The winners of those two ties will play each other in the quarterfinals of the competition. Real Madrid will take on Manchester City, and Atalanta will play Bayern Munich. The winners of those two ties will meet in the quarterfinals. So we could have a Manchester City Bayern Munich reunification with Vincent Kompany in the quarterfinals of the competition, or we could have Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, some of the most prolific champions in Champions League history, meeting at the quarterfinal stage. Newcastle and Barcelona is the next fixture that came out of the hat. They will face the winners of Atletico Madrid and Tottenham Hotspur in the quarterfinals, and then Boda Glimt Sporting and Leverkusen Arsenal completes the draw. Well, certainly Arsenal have come out more favourably than anybody else.
Incredible. That's incredible. I mean, they've got to at least get to the semi-finals for me, if not the final itself. It couldn't have gone any better from a Gunners' perspective. You are listening to the Game Day phone on talkSPORT. BJ Mahar, Jason Cundy. Keep your calls coming in. 03 717 22 3344. We'll keep you up to date in the 5:30 game. It is 1-0 to Man City, just starting to kick off for the second half. But let's go to some calls now. We've been talking about Liverpool. Ryan's phoned us up. He's a Liverpool fan, right, Rise?
Rhino.
Are you all right?
Right, Rise. How are you?
Yeah, not so bad. Cheers, yeah.
Good. What'd you make of it today?
To be honest, I didn't really watch the game. Oh. I don't really like Liverpool, to be fair. I'm a Macclesfield fan.
Right.
But
how did Macclesfield get on today? How'd you get on?
Cundy, what did you say, Cundy?
How did Macclesfield get on?
They drew 2-2 away at Scarborough, but it wasn't at Scarborough Stadium, you know what I mean?
Right.
No, I don't know what you mean.
What's that?
No, I thought they played really well, but yeah, I feel like you talk too much about the Premier League teams. There's way more teams in the country than just the Premier League teams.
That's your job. That's your job, and you're doing it now. So that's you phone up. Well,
but the only reason I got it is because I said I was a Liverpool fan. I really hate Liverpool, so.
So you're a Macclesfield fan, so you wanted to get on.
Talk about Macclesfield.
Yeah,
I know, mate, but it's Macclesfield v Scarborough.
Yeah,
I mean, come on, what do you want from us?
Yeah.
Did you watch Macclesfield against Palace?
That's not a Super Sunday, is it? Macclesfield v Scarborough, is it?
Oh, it's a great Saturday.
I'm not saying it's not a good Saturday, but if you want to phone up and talk about Macclesfield Scarborough, then that's fine. We'll take the call, but. We're not going to sit here and do a whole section on it, are we?
Not took the call.
Hey?
What did you say? Sorry.
We're not going to. I mean, how many people went to the game today?
I think about 2,500. What are you laughing?
I'm not. I'm just saying.
Cundy.
You know, fair play. It's a decent,
crowd, mate. It's decent, that.
Yeah, no, it's a good crowd. It's a good crowd, that. But you know, like there's 60,000 people at Liverpool. There's
but for the National League North, I think that's a pretty good showing. You know,
that's a great showing, mate. I'm not saying it's not, but if you want us to do a whole section on Macclesfield, Scarborough, mate, I mean, I think you're clutching at straws.
No. Not a massive section. No, definitely not.
Right. Phone us up and we'll take your call. That's fine.
Let the Silkman fans know that we're going up. That's all.
All right.
Well, it's taken me this long to find your result. I've had to scroll down so far.
Well, you can't say that, Cundy.
No, honestly,
National League North, mate.
I've seen it.
Good.
I've seen it. Dawson and Gale got the goals.
Scrolling down. Don't be scrolling down.
No,
Dawson and Gale.
Seriously, I thought I was going to run. My computer started panicking. Can't keep scrolling down much further.
Good player, that Gal.
You want to speak to someone else in the car? We got plenty of people in the car. Do you want to word with someone?
Are they Macclesfield fans?
Hey,
there we go.
Well, calm down, boys. We got Brad in the car.
Big Brad.
We got Bunter in the car. We got Harry, and we got someone I don't know the name of. So it's up to you.
Someone I don't know the name of.
Who's driving?
Yeah.
Who's driving?
Bunter's driving.
Bunter.
Yeah. Is he big?
Bald head, yeah.
Is he big, Bunter?
Big bald Bunter.
He sounds like, I reckon he looks like a bulldog. I've got my head.
You're not far off, right, Chelsea?
Well, listen, well done for phoning up. We'll take your call, obviously, because that is what the Game Day phone-in is. You want to phone us up? Yeah. Phone us up, we'll take the call. As simple as that. Don't matter who you are. EFL, National League, Scotland, where else?
Maybe phone TalkSport 2 next time.
All right, Rise, listen, thanks for your call.
Cheers, bud.
I'm going to go to Barry, who's a West Ham fan. All right, Baz?
All right, Baz.
All right, boys.
Mate, you might be playing them soon. Wouldn't get too close.
Yeah. Hey, Northerners have got no brains, and I know that.
What are you on about, Baz?
Baz, come on, don't start throwing strays, bud.
Come on, don't knock the Silkman, mate.
No, come on, matey, come on.
Anyway, that is why I listen to my music now more than football. I love West Ham, but the club is rotten to the core. The thing is, I heard today we're £104 million in debt. Even if we start, we've got to sell players. We ain't going to start. Let me tell you, Jamie, there's no way you're not going to go down. No way.
We'll see tomorrow, mate. We've got Fulham, away. We're only 4 points above you.
I've got a lot of Spurs mates. I was born in Wembley.
Right.
West Ham chose me, but my music now is my passion more than football.
Right. Yeah, but you listen to TalkSport right now, which is a good thing, right?
Yeah, but you've got to listen, Cundy, Jay. You've got to listen to a band called Delegation. I told you that last time, didn't I?
I'm not listening to Delegation.
Yeah, but there's song I thought you like your jazz funk.
I don't mind a bit of jazz funk, but I mean, right now this is not Virgin FM.
I mean, what's going on here?
Come on, Baz.
Baz,
come on, mate.
What do you mean? What's going on?
You're a Macclesfield fan, and someone wants to talk about jazz. I mean, come on.
Hold on, listen. There's no way we're going to stay up. We ain't got the games left to do anything, really.
Right.
All
right.
Well, listen, Baz, I'm going to let you go. You go, mate.
Go to Delegation.
Yeah, go to Virgin. Put them on. I think Alan Brazil might be on over there.
Yeah, Big Al does a show, doesn't he?
He does do a show. Let's go to Mark. He's a Liverpool fan. All right, Mark?
Mark.
How you doing, boys? All right?
All right, mate.
All right, Marky. Look, you won 5-2 today, but Cundy says you weren't great, but maybe flattered you a little bit.
Yeah, no, totally agree with that. Absolutely. Worry about defence, obviously, because, look, West Ham, I think, will stay up. They deserve to stay up. The old cliche, obviously, of too good to go down. I think they will, because Spurs are going to go down, in my opinion. I'm still divorced, boys, by the way. Anyway, what I do want to shout, seems to get older. Normally, I'm on when I'm driving home, but I want to give a shout out to my little nephew as well, who should be in the car now. Probably not even made the M6.
You don't do shout outs. Come on, it's not.
It's not a pirate radio station here, mate.
My point being, most underrated, Ekatike, okay?
Right.
Humble, comes in when
he's
he's
your nephew?
No. Mate, that's the weight of a pass. You've got the weight, but you ain't got the pass, have you? Hey! But, no,
I don't know what's going on, mate.
Macclesfield, they've got a West Ham fan that don't even watch football anymore. They wants to listen to music.
Yeah, everyone's letting us down. Mark, I'm going to let you go, mate. I'm going to go to Andy, a Brentford fan. Let's talk some football.
Save
Andy.
the show, Andy.
Hello. How you doing?
Hello, mate. Can we talk some football?
Yeah, we can talk some football. I thought we were quite fortunate today to get a result. First half, absolutely blew them away. Exactly what we wanted to do. But second half, not good.
Well, you fell apart, but you know what? Sometimes you do, and pressure and moments and games happen, and all of a sudden you go on the retreat, and then before you know it, it's 3-3. But, look, you didn't lose the game. You ended up winning it. You got 3 points.
Yeah, at the end of the season, we're going to look back and say, that's 3 points. We're not going to look back and say, we shouldn't have got 3 points on that one. It's 3 points at the end of the day, which puts us in a good spot to try and get Europe. Previous seasons, we would probably have either drawn or lost this game. So the fact that we managed to win it...
You should have drawn or lost it today.
Hey, first disallowed goal, definitely a disallowed goal, but second one, if that's given against us, I am fuming.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, it's a tough one to take that.
Yeah, it's such a bad
the offside,
decision.
I mean, you see it on Match of the Day, right? The offside, it's the lines come out.
You have to trust the lines, don't you? But
you've got no choice, do we?
I just don't know. I can't see how that's.
But the subjective ones is where you can have an argument with. And the subjective handball, has it his hand or his arm? You can't tell.
You cannot tell.
No,
you cannot tell.
No, you can't.
Listen, just with Keith Andrews, he's coming this season, and you know what? We all doubted it. We all was a bit not sure, but I tell you what, he's done an unbelievable job. But where can he actually take this club? Is there an opportunity for you to actually get European football?
I think top 6 is definitely not on the cards. I think the top 6 are already set up. 7th is where we should be aiming for, and we're in the driver's seat for it.
Mm-hmm.
Conference League football, we're one of the few teams which I think it would suit us extremely well.
Yeah.
It'll be our first foray into Europe. We'd get to go to some unbelievable places. We could actually do a deep run into that competition as well.
Yeah.
Maybe keep some of the players that were thinking about moving on. It would be great if we could do so.
I agree. European football, introduce yourself. The Conference League.
Do you think the problem with the Conference League, though, for teams like Brentford, we've seen it a little bit this season, with Nottingham Forest, Crystal Palace playing in Europe, you struggle in the Premier League to have the squad, because you need 2 squads, right? The Conference League is relentless.
Yeah.
It's just you're playing all the time. There's so many games. And I've just felt like the teams that do, you want to get in it because you want to be that European club.
Yeah.
But then when you get it, you're almost like, we ain't got a squad for this.
That's a very good point. And you do need a deeper squad because it is Thursday, Sunday. It's Thursday, Sunday. But it also, I think it's fair to say that you can rotate even in the Conference League. I know
Chelsea did.
Yeah, but that's different. That's
different, right? Different.
Chelsea.
You're not talking about that.
I'm talking about the Crystal Palaces. You're Nottingham Forest. The teams we've got in Europe. You're in it this season.
Well, they've all got.
If you look at them, they're struggling.
They've all got through in Europe. So
I know, but the Premier League. Yeah, I know, but look at the Premier League.
No, the Premier League is the problem. That's where it's really.
It's not getting through them games because they'll get through them games because the standard's not good enough.
I think that's a fair point, and you need strength in depth. It's hard though to have such a big squad if you're a side like Brentford.
Mm-hmm.
Because
you're not guaranteed to get it every season.
No,
so you sign players based on the fact that you need a decent squad for the Premier League and Europe, but you're not guaranteed that it's going to continue.
No, and also your squad's bigger, and then
you get wages, and then you've got 30 players on wages when really you only needed 22.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. That's fair.
Listen, Andy, thanks for your call. Let's get an update from Mark Wilson.
It's still Leeds 0 at Manchester City 1-10 gone second half. Leeds had an early chance, lovely break against Stack at the heart of it. Cross from the right from Calvert-Lewin. His touch just took him away from goal. His volleyed effort was blocked out for a corner. At the other end, Mateus Nunes, nice cross from the right. Omar Mamouche should have done better. He fired wide. It's in the balance, this one. All to play for. It's Leeds 0, Manchester City 1.
Odds update on talkSPORT with Betfair. Play in a different league this season with Safe Sub from Betfair. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Let's take a look at the latest odds in the 5:30 game. All thanks to Betfair. Is 1-0 to Man City. Leeds to win, 14-1. The draw is 4-1. Man City to win is 4-1 on. That's all thanks to Betfair. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Odds update on talkSPORT with Betfair. Play in a different league this season with Safe Sub from Betfair. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Right, keep the calls coming in. Got a few Newcastle fans not happy with Eddie Howe. We're going to take them next.
So when an old friend I know drops by to say hello, will I still see suspicion in your eyes?
Absolutely.
There we go again, Ray. Here we go.
Come on, now.
You're asking where I've been.
Whoa.
You can't see the tears are real. I'm crying. Sing it, Ray.
We can go on together with suspicious minds.
Build our dreams on suspicious minds. That's beautiful.
Right, people can put the radio back
Right,
on.
I just want to hear the bit in the ghetto from the man himself, Elvis. This is a classic.
There's a snowflake on a cold and grey Chicago morning. A poor little baby child is born in the ghetto, and his mama cries. 'Cause if there's one thing that she don't need, it's another little hungry mouth to feed in the ghetto. People, don't you understand? A child needs a helping hand, or he'll grow to be an angry young man someday. Well, take a look at you and me. Are we too blind to see? Or do we simply turn our heads and look the other way?
Yeah, keep your calls coming in on the Game Day phone in 03 717 2233 44. Let's take a quick call. Richie's a Newcastle fan. All right, Rich?
Richie?
Hello, lads. How are you doing?
I'm all right, Richie. Look, it's bad result again today. It wasn't a great performance. Everton were excellent. Give them credit. What's your take on Newcastle's performances and Eddie Howe right now?
Listen, I've been in the car for an hour since the game finished, and I'm still absolutely raging. Like, those performances we're seeing at the minute now are absolutely not acceptable. I've been the biggest vehement defender of Eddie Howe, but the man's got questions to answer at the minute. Like, I don't understand why we're sticking like people like Joe Linton on the wing. We've got two strikers we paid over 120 million quid for combined, and one sat on the bench and one's playing in midfield. Like, what's going on?
No, I think
Today
that's...
Everton, today Everton were the first to the ball all the time. Credit to them, you know. And even Jordan Pickford, I gave that man dog's abuse for 50 minutes today. I sat right behind him in the goal and abused him the whole match. But I tell you what, that goal he saved was world class because it was a world class strike from Tonali. And fair play to him. If that man wasn't born in Sunderland, I'd have him at Newcastle tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because I look at Nick Pope, right? When I played football at school, we had a man on the front post. Shouts and balls at all of his defenders. Tarkovsky every 5 minutes, screaming at him, do this, do that. Nick Pope, silent, did nothing. We didn't have a man on the back post, first goal. Simple. You know, and like Eddie Howe comes out now with the same diatribe every single game. And I'm getting to the point now where I'm a bit sick of it.
Yeah, I mean, results. Go on.
The other thing is, sorry to cut across here, you guys in the media and all, like Eddie Howe is the nicest manager going, and he's still got credit in the bank for us. But like, nobody seems to ask him the same probing questions they do with the other managers. Glasner, you know, Amrin when he was there, were getting dug out every single week because the performances weren't good enough. Yet Eddie Howe, you know, doesn't get that same kind of treatment.
Richie,
is that because he's a nice guy?
Rich, let me ask you this, because Eddie Howe has taken Newcastle from on a journey, right? You win your first trophy in a generation, or however long, right? I think the owners will be looking at this. They've come in and they've seen Champions League football. You've got it. You know, you've got it again this season. You're not going to get it this next season, that's for sure. I think it will come down to that. I think the owners eventually will go, has Eddie Howe taken us as far as we can? And the answer to that question may well be yes. That doesn't mean to say Eddie Howe's been a failure, because he absolutely hasn't. But if the answer to that question is, has Eddie Howe taken Newcastle? And again, there is always going to be a ceiling with Newcastle because of PSR. You know, how can
were they at the ceiling then? That's not Eddie Howe's fault.
No, that's what I mean. That's the point I'm trying to make, is that actually he probably has taken as far as he can for reasons that they can't go on and keep buying players. You know, we see Aston Villa in the same position. You know, I don't know what you do as a club like Newcastle, and I feel for you, because in my world, I would say spend what you want. That's what, in my world, I would say to Newcastle, spend what you want. But you can't.
Yeah.
And I think there is always going to be a ceiling that Newcastle are battling with, and I think Eddie Howe is probably falling foul to that as much as anything else right now.
JC, I've said exactly the same thing, right? Chelsea can go and sell hotels, do whatever they want. Man City, exactly the same. We allegedly are one of the richest football clubs in the world. If I was the Saudis, I'd just say, yeah, there's 600-700 million. Go and spend what you want. We get a points deduction. So what? So what? Let's start playing the Premier League at their own game. You know, I don't want Eddie Howe replaced. You know, for me, he's still got a lot of credit in the bank, but the man's got to start, you know, answering questions like why is Joe Linton?
Yeah, it's a good question. That's fair enough.
On the wing.
No, that's fair. I think that's fair. Yeah, I agree.
You know, he can't keep coming out with the same tropes every single week. I travel 300 mile every round trip. I'm from Newcastle, but I live in Old Edge in Cheshire. I drive to every single game. Never miss a game, home, away, or Europe. I spend thousands of pounds every year, like many other football fans. And these performances are not acceptable. They're just not.
I
like
think
you said earlier on, Jason. Look, we've got a good team, a good squad. We're not. We should be further up the league than we are. We're playing really well in the Champions League. Why is that not?
I mean, you're okay. Are Newcastle better than 12th?
Yes.
Right. And that's the question that I think that Rich is on about. Newcastle should not be 12th, mate. They should not be 12th. I don't care what problems they've had. You know, that's not acceptable.
I agree. Richie, top call. Thank you. Time now to discuss some of the main topics of the day, all thanks to Betfair.
Topic of the day on talkSPORT with Betfair. 18+ gambleaware.org.
I've been talking about VAR, and we've got more changes. International football lawmakers, IFAB, have announced changes for this summer's World Cup. The main headline, VAR will be used for wrongly awarding corners or to award them instead of a goal kick, provided it doesn't take too long. The Premier League is not expected to adopt this. UEFA is also believed to be against it, but Serie A is likely to adopt other changes for the World Cup. Second yellows can be looked at. A 5-second countdown on throw-ins and goal kicks. 10-second countdown on sub-players leaving the field. Players off for 1 minute on an injury. And Wenger's daylight offside trials for Canada from April. What did you make of that?
Well, I think the game has to evolve. Footballers, managers.
Are we trying to evolve an imperfect game, though, Jason?
Well, no, but the problem is that when laws and rules come in, the managers and the players will. You've been in the dressing room. You know what it's like. They will try and circumnavigate. How do you get round that? How do you find a way to get round that? So the best example I can think of off the top of my head is that Jose Mourinho told John Terry once that you cannot, if you go down injured as a defender, if the physio comes on, you go off the pitch, right?
Yeah.
There was a law that Jose found out that if 2 defenders go down and get treatment, you can't take both off. So John Terry went down in one game, and then Gary Cahill went down. So they're getting treated. Both of them getting treated at the same time. One's got an injury, one hasn't. But you can't take 2 defenders off at the same time. So that's the sort of thing I'm talking about. So you're always trying, the laws of the game are always trying to encourage a better game, right? Some they get right, some they don't. It's like the throw-ins now, right? There's a reason that they're doing this, because the amount of time the throw-ins take, they're drying the ball, they're taking aids, they want one person to take the throw-in. Well, if he's taking the throw-in on the right-hand side, and the ball goes out for throwing on the other side, he's now got to jog across the pitch, 60 yards, and pick the ball up. Well, wait, that's a minute and a half, 2 minutes. So they're always trying to come up with new ways to try and keep the game fresh. One thing I do agree with is second yellows to be looked at. How many times have we seen a second yellow card where you go, those 2 lemons don't make that strawberry? And the second yellow needs to be looked at. And I've seen lots of those in the last 3 or 4 seasons. I get that. 5-second countdown for throw-ins and goal kicks. I don't know how they're going to implement that. I'm guessing when you pick the ball up, the ball can't go out of play, and within 5 seconds you get it back in. That's not possible. That'll be chaos. Because there's, the team, you have to reset.
Yeah.
Even when the ball goes dead.
Yeah, and you're still from a throw-in, you're still trying to find your player, right?
You're still, and also
sometimes it takes a minute,
right? You're in midfield. You're trying to find space.
Yeah.
So you're not literally. You don't zone out. You're still working. You're still trying to find a space. You might go away. Someone might take your space. You're still working on the pitch.
Yeah.
I don't quite know how that's going to work. Players off for 1 minute with an injury. Well, again, that's because players feign injury. Players have brought this on themselves, really, haven't they?
Yep.
I don't. So, but if you come off, if you have a treatment from a physio, it's a 30-second. You're off the pitch 30 seconds. But then, I'm not picking on Arsenal Trossard, but it's the best one that comes to mind. Trossard the other day away at Wolves, he goes down with a head injury, right? And he goes down again. Well, he eventually comes off. Well, he wasn't concussed because he played the next game. But then he got subbed. So there's ways around this. There are ways around it. I'm not keen on the minute, by the way. I'm not a fan of that. Because if you are genuinely injured, you need treatment.
Yeah, why should you get punished a minute?
And if you've been fouled, why should that, how does that work?
Yeah.
If the referee's given a foul and you bet treatment and you come off the pitch for a minute, you're a man down. We'll see how this is implemented, but it's, the game has to evolve with the way that managers and players will try and gain an advantage, and the game as a result suffers. It really does.
What about the daylight one? Just quickly on that. Arsene Wenger's daylight.
I think the laws are going to have to change on offsides. I think there has to be. We've seen it today. It's not palatable. It's hard to take. Come up with some. The daylight is so there's more wiggle room for the striker.
Yeah.
We need more wiggle room. We want to see the advantage given to the attacking team.
Yeah. Well, if you're leaning that way because you're trying to get in, and you want to be given a little bit.
Or
of
where your
advantage.
foot is, maybe take it off the feet. Where your feet are, what's the
It's so difficult.
There's no right. You're absolutely right. It's so difficult
because you talk about daylight and you go, where does that look?
I don't know how
that might be easy when you're standing next to someone.
Yes, yeah.
But
they get their eyes out again, wouldn't they? They look for daylight between the legs.
Where do you find the daylight when someone's on the other side of the pitch who might be playing you on or playing you off? Mate, I don't know how you figure that out.
There you go. There's no simple answer. But they're trying to. I understand they're trying to make the game visually better, because how many times the ball go out of play and time wasting now? They're all at it, by the way. They're all at it. And that, as a spectacle, takes away the enjoyment for us.
I agree. All right, that was a look at some of the main topics of the day. All thanks to Betfair 18+. We're going with .org.
Topic of the day on talkSPORT with Betfair. 18+, gambleaware.org.
Keep your calls coming in. 03717 223344. We'll get to Mark Wilson just after the break as well to get you an update on the game at Ellen Road. It is currently 1-0 to Man City.
Stuttgart have got Porto, Nottingham Forest have got Midtjylland. The winners of those ties will meet in the quarterfinals. Bologna take on Roma and Lille play Aston Villa. It means the quarterfinal could be Daniel Marlin against Aston Villa, Gabby.
That would sum us up. That Daniel Marlin would score the winner and knock Aston Villa out. And if that happened, right, I don't know what I'd do, Crookie. I think I'd walk to your house, Crookie, from here and knock on your door and blame you.
We'll fire up the hot tub, mate. You're always welcome.
But Aston Villa against Lille, they finished 18th in the Europa League group stage. Beat Red Star Belgrade in the playoffs.
They did well, actually, to come from behind. They lost their home leg 1-0 and then 1-2-1 away.
You should be beating them.
They're 5th in the league as well, in Liga. So
Roma's
should beat them.
The tough one.
Yeah, Roma's the tough one, and it's on the same side as Forest. Is that right?
Well, yeah. So basically, what it means is that if they were to win against Midtjylland, which you might expect them to do, Nottingham Forest, they would find a quarterfinal opponent, either Stuttgart or Porto. Tough draw, actually, that. And then further down the line, if they were to win that quarterfinal, the semi-final would be potentially Aston Villa. That is possible.
Are you pleased you're on the other half of the draw to Genk?
Cookie, you're not funny. Where Manchester United, Alex? Because there'll be thousands of Villa fans listening to you.
They're
Cookie.
also on the other side of the draw to Freiburg.
Yeah,
hello.
Well.
Hello, you.
And Braga.
Guys, you do a lot of games at Villa Park. Be careful now. Alex.
You like Aston Villa?
We get looked after, didn't you?
We're predicting them
Get some good food in the press box.
You know what? I think the atmosphere at Aston Villa is one of the best when it's really.
I love it. You are listening to the Game Day phone in on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie Hard, Jason Cundy, 03 717 223344. Number to call if you want to have your say on today's football. Rory Jennings follows from 7:30. All your reaction to Leeds v Man City, which is going on right now. And as well as this show, we've got Russian Saudi League action on the YouTube channel right now. Cristiano Ronaldo's Al Nassr head to Al Fire. It was a goal fest, though, in the Premier League. And as always, you've not missed a thing here on talkSPORT.
Into the path of Sunderland's Mayenga off the goalkeeper and in. Diarra's shot comes off Petrovic and it's tucked home by Mayenga.
It's Newcastle 2, Everton 3. Newcastle got back into the game through Jacob Murphy, but Barry's just come on a sub and bundled the ball over the line. It's bounced up, hit him in the chest, gone in. Everton 3-2 up.
Burnley 3, Brentford 4, and Damsgaard has got his second of the game in the 3rd minute of injury time. And those Brentford fans who thought they would be heading back south without the 3 points that they thought they'd earned at half-time are now celebrating and dancing in delight again.
It's in by Evan Nilsson. The goalkeeper came out, completely missed it, and Evan Nilsson was lurking at the back post.
Liverpool 5, West Ham 2, and it's Frimpong, the substitute, who's got it. It's a cross that comes into the box, but it takes a huge deflection off Disasi and goes into the back of the net. So I say it's gone to Frimpong. It'll be an own goal against Disasi.
Premier League is a goal fest this afternoon.
Yes, it was. And that's how it all sounded on the world's biggest sports radio station. Let's check in, though, Mark Wilson watching Leeds v Man City at Ellen Road.
Yeah, still Leeds 0. Manchester City 1. Semenyo's goal in first half added on time the difference, but really City showing their class in this second half. Calvert-Lewin had a chance early in the second half, but since then Leeds haven't created anything. City have come close a couple of times. Mamouche, he fired wide, and we've seen a shot block from Semenyo and a header from Gay. Wonderful save from Darlow, clawed it away just as it looked like it was going in the top corner. But it's all City here. We've got around about 13 minutes left at Ellen Road. Leeds 0, Manchester City 1.
Yeah, they're doing well, but they still win this, Leeds. There's one chance.
Oh, they're still in it, mate. You know, they made some subs now. They brought a bit of pace on up top. It's the last throw of the dice, but it's City actually have handled this really well.
Professional.
Yeah, it's not been easy. We all knew it's going to be tricky, but Semenyo's played well. He's had a real impact, obviously scoring the goal, but City still need that second goal just to be sure.
I think so too. Let's go to Michael, who's a West Ham fan, though, right, Mike?
Mikey?
How you doing, boys? You all right?
I'm all right, Mikey. Look, you lost 5-2 today, but you weren't that bad.
Listen, we deserve to go down. You've then got the Spuds, who are absolutely painful. If I'm brutally honest with you.
Okay. I mean, I know you... There's all sorts of bombs.
Oh, Mikey.
Yeah, Mikey.
Oh, dear. West Ham fans, you can always rely on them to give you a double dump, can't you? You can always rely on a West Ham fan to mess it up for you. Oh, Mikey. Look, we'll get back to some calls, but let's do this weekend's winners and losers.
O'Hara and Cundy's weekend winners and losers.
How many times do we dump on the game?
I think 90% of the people that we dump on this station are West Ham fans. 100%.
Get double dump. That takes some doing, double dump.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Doesn't it?
Just talking about the weekend's winners and losers. Then where we started?
We're going to start with Everton. David Moyes up to 8th. They are. Unbelievable season they're having. They're a little bit inconsistent. Of course, at home, they need to sort that out. But to be where they are, they were excellent today. They were really, really good. And they started well, took the lead deservedly. And to go to Newcastle and score 3 goals, that takes some doing, by the way. Because even though Newcastle having a bit of a tricky season themselves, to go there and win 3-2. So David Moyes is a winner.
Yep. Who else are we going with?
Redoni, Coventry. 94th minute winner.
Oh,
that is a massive, massive goal for them.
Result.
Yeah, they were drawing at home 1-1 with Stoke, but Redoni pops up with a winner. And their season really has turned around since they beat Middlesbrough a couple of weeks ago. Their season has picked up again. Yeah, massive.
Absolutely fair play to them.
And Hearts, mate. Hearts, they beat, was it Aberdeen? I think they beat. To 1-0, put the pressure back on the old firm derby tomorrow.
Yeah.
So that takes place. So they're taking care of their business. Over to you boys now. So fair play to Hearts. They aren't going anywhere, mate.
Fair play, yeah.
David Moyes, Redoni and Hearts are the winners this week.
Losers?
West Ham's defence, mate.
Irons. West Ham's whole defence.
The whole defence.
Just the West Ham defence.
The defence has gone in there, mate. Because Liverpool, Liverpool weren't as good as the scoreline suggests. They were ruthless.
Yeah.
When chances come, they took them.
Yeah.
And
good XG.
Yeah, do you know what? It's a good shout. Wonder what the XG is. I'll have a look.
Are you going to have a look now?
I'll have. Can I multitask?
I don't know if you can, mate. Let's just stick to doing losers, mate. Don't multitask.
Hold on, match stats, right? Here we go.
Here we go.
I've only managed to pull out XG.
Go on, then.
Right?
Go on.
Right. This is hilarious.
Go on.
Right. I'm so glad you've mentioned this. Right. Liverpool's XG today. They scored 5 goals. 1.75.
Wow.
West Ham's XG scored 2 goals. 1.84. West Ham's XG is better than Liverpool's. I mean, that gives you some indication that West Ham actually done all right.
Yeah.
Liverpool weren't great, but were ruthless. Just backs up what we're saying. Also in the losers, Eddie Howe.
Losers.
Eddie Howe.
Eddie Howe's in there, mate.
Whoa.
Getting thrown in there.
Whoa.
And Newcastle fans that booed Anthony Gordon. It's a double whammy for old Newcastle fan. Can't be booing one of your own, mate.
No, I agree, mate. It's poor.
Eddie Howe, he's gone down in the losers. And also, our very own Gabby Agbon-Lahore.
Oh, Gabs has got to go in there. He's having one.
He was giving it large, big licks all over social media. Going into the game last night against Wolves.
Yeah, as
Wolves
he always
pulled their
does.
pants down and give a good old whooping.
Yeah.
They give lots of whooping.
Yeah, he needs to be careful on Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it. He gives it the big un.
Well, look, Gabby's got broad
Villa
shoulders,
have
mate.
stumbled.
One thing I'll say about Gab, he gives it, But he's pretty good. He takes it as well, but he's going to have to, mate. Wolves pulled their pants down. They were terrible, Wolves' first half, I thought. Villa, they're so flat, mate. I know they're missing McGinn.
They're gone.
And I know they're missing Tielemans as well. Yeah, they're flat, mate, so they must be worried about that. So there's your losers.
Okay.
West Ham's defence, Eddie Howe, the Newcastle fans that booed Anthony Gordon, and Gabby giving it big licks on socials.
Okay, that's your weekend's winners and losers.
O'Hara and Cundy's weekend winners and losers.
Right, let's go to Dave. He's an Everton fan, right, Dave?
Right, Dave-o.
Partner, boys.
All right, matey.
All right, Davey. Look, your away form incredible this season, but you've got to sort the home form out.
Well, that's what I wanted to ring up for, really. Like, obviously, the away form, as you say, has been outstanding, but I think that's because, the hardcore supporters come away and the negativity at home.
Is it? Is it? Why do you think that is? Because you're in a new stadium. I've not been there yet, but by all accounts, it's an amazing place. Why negativity? Is it because the results and performances on the pitch that's bred into it?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's historic, to be honest. I think it's, because we haven't been great over the last few years, there's a bit of a hangover on that, and a lot of people can't carry that with them instead of focusing on what we're doing this year. The forums on social media and stuff like that, you've got people, because of Moyes out and stuff like that already, because some of the results haven't gone well. Yeah. But it's been, over the last 15 years, I've said, it's been the major problem at Goodison and at the Hill Dickinson. A big percentage of the fans just don't get behind the team, just don't support them. Too quick as soon as a ball goes by, or there's a bad pass, or just on the case straight away. They play with fear at home, but they don't away, and I think that's the major difference myself.
Dave, I'm going to let you go because your line's not great, but I hear what you're saying. Everton are a good team with David Moyes. I really like what they're about.
Yeah, it's like anything else, mate. It's been consistent. The best side's the most consistent sides, and Everton have shown they are more than capable of giving anyone a game, right? But it's just the consistent in particular. You can't be dropping too many points at home. You can't be, and that's unfortunately why they. Imagine they turn some of that around. They're 8th. Still a good season.
Yeah, no, doing really well. We're going to get back to the Man City game in just a bit. Keep your calls coming in. Man City currently 1-0 up at Leeds with 5 minutes to go of normal time, but Leeds are on the attack and putting some real pressure on them right now. Just before I go to a break, I thought they might have scored. 03717 22 33 44.
Declan Rice made a mistake, but Declan shows you how good he is. He didn't let it bother him. He was brilliant the rest of the game, and everybody makes mistakes. He put his hand up straight away. No, he's made a mistake, but after that, he was superb, absolutely superb, like he's been all season, by the way. And then the big plus point for the game was Gyökeres. It's got to be, because I thought without his goals, he played quite well because he was always involved. He was making better runs. He was getting to more dangerous areas, but he took his goals very well. His first goal, if you look at his first goal, Al, it's a great first touch. It's all about first touch in football. He gets out of his feet, and it's like it's the same motion as he touched. He's run onto it and he pinged it, and the keeper's had no chance. And the last goal was very, very similar. I'm not going to compare him with Thierry Henry, but the way he played on the right back shoulder, and it was a really good pass through to him. He was strong, but then he cut inside and he just found that he passed it into the net, which he's got to do more often. But he was getting so much better areas. But as I said before, you can't just have one game like that, Al. You've got to do it week in, week out.
Well, and that's where Declan is so good. It's every game.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you know he's very elegant, is he? He's an elegant player, right?
Yes, you've got to get him on the ball as much as you can. He's very, very. He knows exactly who's around him. Look, Odegaard's a great player as well, and it'd be interesting to see what he does.
Calls coming in on the game day phone in 03717 223344. It is still Man City 1, Leeds 0. 88th minute we will get to Mark Wilson in just a moment. But EFL action, a team that is flying high in the Championship. Milwall win again. Jackson Millwall fan, he's phoned us up. Right, Jack.
Up the wall. Jackie boy.
How you doing, son? You all right?
Yeah, we're all right, Jack. I mean, look, fair play to Millwall. Normally, this time of the season, they start to have some sticky results, but it looks like you are right there amongst it. Could even go up automatic.
Yeah, I mean, we're chasing top two now, to be honest. I think playoffs is pretty much guaranteed now, I would hope. I've seen this before, but, I'd hope that we're in the playoffs now. But we just look different gravy, to be honest, Jamie. We're unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look.
Did you watch the game on Wednesday? Femi Aziz, Tristan Crammer, Josh Coburn, they're all under 25 years old.
Yeah.
And they're absolutely cutting it about in the Championship without breaking a sweat. I think we're in a new breed of Milwall at the moment. And I think the big thing to mention, and this is why I wanted to call, we're on the way up.
Mm-hmm.
Tottenham, West Ham, Crystal Palace, they're all on the way down. Are they worried? Are they worried about us going up?
I think everyone's worried Millwall going up, to be honest.
You're a Tottenham boy, Jamie. You tell me, are Tottenham worried that we're going to be the best team?
I don't think Tottenham are worried about Millwall, if I'm honest. But we'll see. Millwall's almost a bit of a second club for me because of where I grew up in Bermondsey.
You did all right when you were here, didn't you?
I done all right there, mate. Yeah, cut the goals, done all right. But look, I'll be happy. Right. I'd love to see Millwall win the Premier League. I'd love to see it. It's a big football club, big following.
Yeah,
you fill the ground out every week.
Yeah, I mean, well, we sell out every home game at the moment, to be honest, and obviously the atmosphere is fantastic. It was, great performance today. But what I wanted to say is, obviously, we lost our chairman. He obviously sadly passed away.
Yeah,
his son's taken charge, and in January, Ipswich bid 20 million for Femi Aziz.
Yeah.
5 years ago, we'd be snapping your hand off for that. But we said, no, we're going. We want to push for the Premier League.
Yeah.
We've kept him, and obviously he scored that absolute worldie against Birmingham in the midweek, and he played really well today. So
fair play. Yeah, well, you keep him. He's, you've got players who can help you out if you do go up.
Minimum playoffs, right? Because they're going up in the top two. You played that extra game. Ipswich got 2 games in hand over you, and Hull have that 1 game in hand. But you'd rather have the points on the board, and you can't do any more than you're doing them. Every time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I say this to my dad. I say, as long as we win our homes, draw our aways, don't worry about what everyone else does at the end of the day.
Yeah.
We just got to keep doing what we're doing. Obviously, we've got Hull to play in a couple of weeks. We've got Ipswich to play. We've got
massive.
Middlesbrough to play.
Huge games coming up for Millwall. Yeah, massive.
So,
games coming up.
Yeah. They're all big. But the thing is, no one wants to play Millwall in the playoffs. I can promise you that. No club in this league has got the balls to come down to Milwall and play us on a Tuesday night in the playoffs. It's just not happening. I can guarantee that right now.
We'll see. Jack, thanks for your call. Let's get back to Ellen Road because it's right at the final stages. Mark Wilson.
Still Leeds 0, Manchester City 1. We're into the second of 6 added on minutes here, but you boys called it last time. Whilst it's 1-0, it's still a slender lead, and Leeds are throwing everything here at Manchester City. They've thrown on the likes of Nemecha, Dan James, Willie Nonto, but they brought on Yakubio, and after a great block from Mark Gurhey, stopped to James Cross going into the 6-yard box from the corner. Beale got up high, and he's directed his header just the wrong side of the post. City are hanging on a little bit here. Still got a minimum of 4 added on minutes to go at Ellen Road. It's Leeds 0, Manchester City 1. Remember, if Manchester City win, close the gap on Arsenal to 2 points.
Yeah, we'll get back to you in just a moment. Let's have a look at tomorrow's Premier League action with Sky Sports.
Stay ahead of the game on talkSPORT with Sky Sports. Stream the biggest Premier League games flexibly with Now. Like Arsenal versus Chelsea live tomorrow. Search Now Sports. 18 plus. Stream via internet. Terms apply.
Big games tomorrow. Brighton v Nottingham Forest, Fulham v Tottenham, Man United v Crystal Palace, and the biggie, Arsenal v Chelsea. I'll go with that. I'll start with that one because obviously it's a big game. Do you think you can go there and get something from it?
Probably not. We're not going to go there and win. I can't see that happening. Arsenal are too good. It depends what he's got a few problems, Rafinha. He's got no Cucurella. He's got no Fofana because Numbnuts got sent off last week. Yep. So he's got an issues defensively. Where he plays Reece James. Okay. Does he play Reece James
in the middle?
In midfield? Because actually, when we played them at our place, Reece was the best player on the pitch. He was outrageously good. Does he go midfield alongside Moises Caicedo? Does he play Gusto at right back, Hato at left back? Who does he play centre half? So he has got some selection issues. He's got some real problems in and around that area.
Okay, just in terms of formation, because when you went there in the Carabao Cup semi-final, you played like a real defensive game.
It was a 5.
Do you think he'd do that again?
I hope he doesn't, because I think Arsenal will be too good to take us on over 90 minutes, us sitting deep. You need to carry a threat. We're a 4-2-3-1 team. I personally hope he goes 4-2-3, but he is slightly hamstrung with the injuries and suspensions that he's got. But he's got to come up with a formula. If he does go 5 at the back, right? Because the difference is when we played in the Carabao Cup second leg, Arsenal didn't need to score. We did, and he left it a little bit too late to change it.
Yeah,
I think Arsenal will. Either way, I think Arsenal will have a plan because they're a damn good side. I would be happier going a 4-2-3-1 and matching them up over the pitch and win your individual battles, but carry a threat. There's no Esteval as well, which is another.
So you got a few out.
We got a few out. So he's got some problems, but we got the players that can deal with that. João Pedro has been on fire recently. He's been outstandingly good. So he's got it's going to be tough.
You take a point.
Oh my gosh,
take a point all day. What about your former club, the Mighty Spurs?
The Mighty Spurs!
Yeah.
Up the Fulham.
Big game for us.
Do you know what, Jay?
Go out and put in a performance.
If you can take 3 points here, mate, that is absolutely enormous.
Yeah.
I don't think, even a draw, you just don't get beat. Go there, don't get beat. You've seen West Ham drop points today, Burnley drop points, or both got beat. Go and get a point. A point could be enormous, mate. Absolutely enormous. Man United against Palace. I can't see anything else other than Man United win.
No,
I simply can't.
No.
Palace, they look way off it at the moment as well. Man United are well and truly on top. And the other one, Brighton against Forest. I'll have Brighton to nick it. In all honesty, a Brighton to nick it.
Yeah, okay. All right, that was a look ahead to tomorrow's Premier League action. Don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action flexibly, like Fulham v Spurs, live tomorrow. Search Now Sports.
Stay ahead of the game on talkSPORT with Sky Sports. Stream the biggest Premier League games flexibly with Now. Like Arsenal versus Chelsea live tomorrow. Search Now Sports. 18 plus. Stream via internet. Terms apply.
Right, we are at the death at Ellen Road. Mark Wilson.
Yeah, still Leeds 0. Manchester City won. That goal from Antoine Semenyo looks like closing the gap on leaders Arsenal to just 2 points here. We're into the final few seconds. Leeds have thrown everything at it. They've almost had too many attacking players. Every time the ball fell, didn't quite fall to a white shirt in and around the box. Leeds have had 14 efforts at goal, but crucial, only 2 of them on target. And the whistle goes, which means that Manchester City now are just 2 points points behind leaders Arsenal. They've come to Ellen Road, just the fourth team in the Premier League this season to beat Leeds here. Semenyo's goal, a lovely pass from Cherki, found Aït-Nouri. He pulled it back and Semenyo tucked in from close range. But Leeds will be left to root. Two massive chances in the first half. First 4 minutes in, Aronson's cross, Calvert-Lewin unmarked, missed the target, hits the target, puts Leeds in front. And then just before the break, well, it was still 0-0. Aronson played in by Stack from halfway, advanced on the goal. Donnarumma stayed big and kept him out. City got in front. They toyed with Leeds for parts of the second half, but Leeds did have a go at the end. They just couldn't find that bit of quality to make City down. They're back within 2 of Arsenal, who play tomorrow. It ends here, Leeds 0, Manchester City 1.
Yeah, and at the end there, massive result for Man City, but the manager, is it Daniel Farke?
He's not a happy Farke.
He's been sent off.
Not a happy Farke at all.
Yeah, he's not happy.
He got a red card. Can I just say, Ruben Diaz and Mark Guehi were absolutely unbelievable today.
They were.
Unbelievable.
I said to you, that signing of Guehi, mate, and Semenyo, look, he gets the winner. Them two signings, I said, they could win them Premier League.
Well,
and ever since they brought in Guehi, because we've moaned about Man City defensively, like, you know, they're not the best. They are today. They were sensational.
Those two, they win. Calvert-Lewin really towards the end. If they had a right go, Leeds, fair play. They had a right go, but Manchester City rear-guard action, defending, absolutely everything, winning headers. I'm not sure Calvert-Lewin won a header when the ball came in the box. Those two were absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, absolutely. Massive result for them. 2 points behind Arsenal now, who play Chelsea tomorrow. Up the Chelsea! Come on, the Chelsea! Big game for you. Come on, the Chelsea! Get a result for the boys. Get a result for the nation. Do your job. Right, keep your calls coming in. Thanks for all of them over the last 2 hours. But up next, Rory Jennings Show, 03 717 22 33 44.
Let's talk about Tottenham Hotspur. Has Igor Tudor already bitten off more than he can chew? Is it strange to hear a Tottenham manager speaking about a small club mentality? This is him talking about the scale of the task ahead.
Verità,